first saw a picture of a hammerhead bat and learned that it was, in fact, real, I thought, well, that's the Jersey Devil. Here we go. Cryptid solved. Check. I'm coming for you next, squonk. But it's not that simple. I did a little bit of research into it and found that I could argue a compelling case for the Jersey Devil being a hammerhead bat, but I can also make a pretty solid case against it. You might say that I'm a Jersey Devil's advocate. So the Pine Barrens, where the Jersey Devil is commonly considered to live, is located only 40 miles from Camden, New Jersey. Camden, New Jersey was once considered a center for importation of slaves. Boats came up the river and they offloaded their kidnapped humans into Camden, where they were auctioned and sold. These boats were part of the transatlantic slave trade, and they brought people from Africa, specifically Western Africa, in places that are now known as countries like Congo and Gabon, etc. And where does the hammerhead bat live? In West African countries like Congo and Gabon and etc. Legends state that the Jersey Devil was born in 1735, and New Jersey was the last northern state to abolish slavery in 1804. So the existence of the Jersey Devil does predate the outlawing of slavery in New Jersey. I couldn't find any boat records, but I did find a PBS article stating that between 1718 and 1804, at least 10 vessels docked in Philadelphia/Camden, bringing over 1,000 enslaved people from African countries. Side note, there were another 1,400 enslaved people brought into this port during that time, but these were people from South America, the Caribbean, and other American colonies. So, no potential for weird bats, just atrocities. So it is entirely possible that there were hammerhead bats aboard those boats. Whether they were smuggled intentionally into the country because someone thought they looked weird and they wanted to sell them as pets, or unintentionally that maybe a bunch of bats were just roosting aboard the ships. Now, the hammerhead bat is considered a megabat with a wingspan of about 3 feet. That's this. 3 feet. Coming right at you in the dark. While 3 feet is a pretty impressive wingspan, people who saw the Jersey Devil claimed that it was about 6 to 8 feet tall. So there's still quite a size differential there. Although, very often when people are scared, they are not really able to take an accurate measurement of the thing that scared them. It does often, in their memory, seem to be, bigger and more frightening than it actually was. The most famous sightings of the Jersey Devil were in January of 1909. So the hammerhead bats would have needed to breed and stay alive for approximately 175 years. Though hammerhead bats do have a lifespan of 30 years, so that does help reduce the number of generations needed to still be seen in the area in 1909. However, the biggest argument against the 1909 sightings being a hammerhead bat is the fact that it was January, and bats don't really do well in cold weather. They generally roost together in order to conserve warmth, and they hibernate for the winter. But in January, in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey, the high is 41 degrees and the low is 25 degrees. That is too cold for a bat. The other thing to remember about the 1909 sightings is that they were extremely hyped up by the local papers. The Philly Inquirer released a comparatively much more recent article, I believe in 2019, detailing how a reporter at the Inquirer basically created this Jersey Devil hoax. He started writing all of these fantastical articles about the creature and all of these claims. Dogs are terrified. Hunting parties have gone missing. And then he followed that up a short while later with articles about how, after a great struggle, the creature has been captured. And then after that, these ads started appearing for what was basically a local sideshow, saying that people could come see the creature for a fee. People who went to see the creature basically said that it was a kangaroo in a really bad costume. And many years later, the reporter, whose name was Norman Jeffries, did admit to the hoax. But there were still a number of sightings before Norman Jeffries started up his whole scheme. It seems like there was something happening. There was something that people were seeing before this man decided that he could really liven things up in order to make money off of it. The best theory I can come up with is that this happened to be an unusually large hammerhead bat that had been roosting in somebody's attic somewhere, and the homeowner chased it out into the cold, where the confused bat flew around erratically for a week, causing chaos, before eventually either finding a new place to hibernate or just dying in the cold. And meanwhile, some shady entrepreneurs saw an opportunity to make some money off of this, inadvertently blowing up a local story into an enduring legend. Next time, join me on the hunt for Squonk.